done, and I'm going to share a story on how you can get like a book done too. Book is one of the most powerful marketing assets that you can create for your business. It leads to so many different opportunities. And I'm going to share some stories with you, and I'm going to share some tips on how you can do the same thing, right? So, how did I get into books in the first place? Well, I was coaching. I had signed up for coaching, and my coach told me that we went through this intensive, like this workshop, right? And we were creating like lead magnets, right? A lead magnet is a something that you give a customer or prospect to find out if they're interested in what it is that you're doing, right? So a good example would be like a cheat sheet. Another example is a free report. Free report on 7 ways to save money in real estate. Free report on 11 ways to avoid taxes in real estate, right? Those are like just some good um, lead generation examples. So I was teaching social media at the time, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make my free report on the social media marketing, right? And typical mistakes that people make in social media for real estate. Right? I'm like, that's what I'm going to create my report on. And while we were doing it, I got the report done. I actually still have a copy somewhere. I got the report done, and while we were going through the coaching intensive, my coach said we used to create books, but people got so overwhelmed with writing these books that we just turned them into reports, and we start calling them reports, right? So I was like, wow, how did you do books before? Like, this seems like we're already doing a bulk of the work. All we got to do is incorporate a couple more steps, and it's a full blown book, right? She's like, yes, but people get overwhelmed. I'm like, I won't get overwhelmed. I'm going to try to create a book, right? That's something I would be interested in doing. And I've said that. We've probably all have said that I'm going to write a book one day in the future, right? So she was like, yeah, I actually, right? This is interesting. She was like, actually, I have a book on how to write a book. And I was like, okay, I'm going to purchase your book. And let me tell you the name of that book. Name of that book is Insider Secrets to Writing a Successful Lead Generation Book in 7 days or less, right? So I want to stop really quickly. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is they try to write a book about their entire story and their backstory. Nobody wants to hear that, right? If people are coming to you as a business owner, entrepreneur, they don't want to hear your backstory. They want you to solve their problem, right? This is why this is a lead generation book, right? This is also why this is a nonfiction book. So I grabbed her book and I went through that book, and I took what was inside of her book and I implemented it all, right? Got my book done. Hit #1 bestseller on Amazon. It's been my favorite accomplishment thus far, right? Having a book. So I published that book, and I was like, you know what? That was actually interesting. And we were going through like a little bit further in the future, and we were going through like another intensive. And she was like, sometimes you need more than one book. And I was like, oh my God, I do need more than one book. So I published another book. And I think the second book that I published was video marketing for real estate. And she was like, one of the things that you can do, right, instead of going through that whole process that we went through, she was like, you can take like a webinar presentation that you've done, and you can turn that into a book. And I was like, oh my God, I've got so many webinars and so many presentations. I can turn any of those into a book. And that's what I start doing, right? I would put on a 1-hour presentation for people, and I was recording those presentations, right? I'm efficient. Like, I want to make sure I record everything so I can send it to someone else. So if someone has the same question, I could just send them the information, right? So she was like, one of the things you can do is transcribe those videos. And I was like, what? That's what I'm going to do, right? So people are like, Jerome, how do you get so many books done? That's how, right? I teach and I talk. I have it transcribed, and then I turn that into a book, right? Now, today in 2023, we have like AI technology, more specifically Chat GPT. So Chat GPT can make the process even simpler and even easier, right? So originally, when I would create the books, I would create the book. No, I would create the video, have the videos transcribed, right? Whether it's through software or through software and human transcriptionists, right? It would be like a long process, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Well, when ChatGPT came out, I said, you know what? What would happen if I let ChatGPT do the, or I let AI, not ChatGPT particularly, but what would happen if I let AI transcribe this stuff for me like it's been doing, right? But what if I took it, right? Those transcripts are the written, it's like the written, it's the words of your, it's the words of your video, your audio, right? So I said, what if I take those transcripts and then I plug it into Chat GPT and say, Chat GPT, correct the grammar on this content, right? And I did that. I took it, put it into Chat GPT, and I had it correct the grammar, and it did that. It did exactly that. I was like, you know what? I got something special here, right? Got all my trainings, I got all my presentation. I could just take those, put them into a transcript, right? And that's what I started doing, right? So I've taught well over, let me think about it, well over 400, 500 presentations, right? Um, so if you really think about it, I teach at least twice a week. I've been teaching twice a week for 4 years. That's about 400 videos or 400 presentations. So in the grand scheme of things, right, 20 books is really not a lot compared to all the training that I've been doing. It's really a small amount. Okay, so that's how I get my books done so quickly and so efficiently, right? I take my videos and I take my expert talks and I have those transcribed. I have an entire team. We got AI. We got like a bunch of different moving parts. We just have that, all of those things, and we turn it into a transcript, put it into a book. We have it printed, then we ship it out, right? Now, let me tell you some reasons on why a book. Buy a book, because most people are overwhelmed, right? You can go to Google, you want to learn about a particular topic. And if you want to learn about that topic in detail and in depth, you're going to have to go to this page and that page and this page and that page. So that's one reason why a book, right? A book will give someone something in a compact format, right? So this is a book that I just published recently called The Fractional CMO Effect. And this book talks about the importance and how to utilize working with a CMO. A CMO is a chief marketing officer, right? So the fractional CMO effect, fast and efficient business growth through part-time marketing, leadership, and strategic implementation. Okay. So that's that book. And now in general, when I do speeches or when I do presentations, I do my absolute best to make sure they're recorded, because that's content I can use in the future, not only as a video, but I can have the video turned into transcripts and I can turn that into other content, right? So a book is not the only thing I do. I also do newsletters. I also do blog posts. I take the video transcripts and I have that transcribed into other pieces of content, right? I think a video is one of the most versatile pieces of content that you can create, because you can do so many other things with it. It includes audio. It includes voice. You can turn it into text kind of posts. And that's why I'm so huge on video, right? Because it allows you to leverage yourself over and over and over again. Now, let's go back to finish talking about why books. There are several reasons why I like books, right? Several reasons. And you want to know what's interesting? I took one of my presentations, right? Kind of see me on the side here. Those are all of my books there. But what I've done, right? Whenever I'm talking about something consistently and persistently, I create content out of it, right? So what I've done is like, why a book, Jerome, right? I can only give you so much in this video, me talking to you today. I've done a whole presentation on, guess what? The ultimate marketing asset, right? The ultimate marketing asset, and the ultimate marketing asset is a book, right? So instead of me having to create but I've done a presentation on this, right? And I've taught a class on this. I took that class, I had it transcribed, and I put it into a book. So here you go. Like if you're trying to figure out some reasons on why publish a book and how to publish a book, here you go right here, right? I published a book on it. This is why I want you to, these are the reasons why you should publish a book, right? These are some reasons why you should publish a book. So that's how I get it done, right? I take everything that I'm teaching, I make sure I record it so I can have it for future use, right? I turn the videos into books. I turn the books into videos. I leverage the same content over and over and over again, right? So people are like, Jerome, how you get so many books done? That's how. That's my process. That's the secret. If you're interested in me helping you get that done, all you have to do is reach out to me. My email address is jerome@jeromelewis.com, and I'll take you through a process, right? It's not free, right? I can help you get a book done, but we'll help you get your book done fast, right? With the power of AI. And if you are willing to try, we will get you a book done. We get these books done in a matter of hours, in a matter of days, right? Whereas some people, they've been trying to write the book for 10 years, right? You understand? So I just wanted to share that. Let's see. Got some more stuff for you. I want to share a video with you.
Jerome Lewis.
Jerome Lewis.
Jerome Lewis.
Jerome Lewis.
Jerome Lewis.
Jerome Lewis, that's my guy. I met him at a real estate meetup, and I knew some stuff about real estate, and sure enough, just being around him has been a blessing. He's connected me with plenty of coaches that I basically learned and grew in this business, and now I am a published author and speaker of 3 books. Here's my first book, The Sold. You probably can't see it because it's like it's a little bit, like reversed. But this is basically Sold, The Home Seller's Advantage, the guide to unlocking a success, the secrets to a successful property sale. And also my other book, if you've seen the other review, you could see that it was my terms book. This is the new version of my terms book, The Part-Time Real Estate Investor's Guide to Selling Your House on Terms, the Wealthy Way, right? And also the Part-Time Real Estate Investor's Guide to Finding Off-Market Google, basically deals with Google Ads, okay? So I have 3 published books, at least concerning real estate, but I'm actually a 5-time published author. Right?
So if you're frustrated, if you're challenged, if you don't even know where to start, click the link below. Connect with Jerome because he is truly an implementer. Why do I know this? Because time and time again, when I get stuck, there's only one person I'm going to call when I'm about to launch a book, and it is truly Jerome. Jerome, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for helping me. And I love using your 3-step approach to launching books, taking them from a lead magnet, taking them from conception, and turning them into a physical book and being able to self-publish.
This book that I can't wait to start reading, it is Real Estate Marketing, an insider's secret of successful advertising, lead generation, and marketing implementation for real estate entrepreneurs. And it's written by my pal, Jerome Lewis, who works for eXp Realty. And I have been fortunate enough to do some trainings with him in my brokerage, and he's a great resource, really knowledgeable as far as like Facebook ads and Facebook marketing.
I want to give a huge shout out to Jerome, Mr. Implementation, because he's helped me so much. I haven't been on the call today, but I get on a call with him every week, and he just pushes you so hard. So he made me publish a book on Amazon, and yeah, I'm really happy with that. And he's got like all the resources, better than Chat GPT.
Jerome, Mr. Resource and Mr. Implementation. Thank you, Jerome, for just always showing up and being a major player in these calls.
You got my book?
I do have your book.
Okay.
Pull it out.
Yeah. So Jerome, I want to thank you so much for making me take imperfect action, and I want to give proof of what is possible. I sold 166 copies of that book in 15 days. So now you have one of the first 200 copies with an error, which is worth more money. So
it is worth more. That's amazing. So have you gotten any complaints or?
No.
Wow. Okay. I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't say guitarist?
Yeah.
But
It says
still
guitarist.
valuable. Yeah, okay. It's still valuable. It's like, no, like it's not perfect. So that's what I
Exactly.
appreciate. Like,
That's
thank you
what
for
I
sharing that.
appreciate.
I had the unique opportunity of working with Jerome Lewis during one of his book writing workshops. I walked in with an idea and I walked out with a complete full manuscript. And 3 days later, I was holding a physical copy of my first published book, The Stress Rebirth. I would definitely recommend 10 out of 10. His implementation, accountability, and simple steps will help you get over the hump that you need to succeed.
I just wrapped up attending the book funnel workshop with Jerome and Liana. It was just epiphany after epiphany. Each one gave birth to more potentials, taking me to the threshold of my comfort zone at times, trying to keep up. I literally wrote an entire book in under 2 hours, and now I have a clear blueprint for marketing and selling my services. Thank you, Jerome, Mr. Implementation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jerome.
Jerome, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.